Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to draw an easy and magical mermaid. And I'll be dishing out some fascinating facts about the world's most iconic and famous mermaids along the way. Now let's grab your pencils and let's get started. Step number 1 is drawing the head. Start by drawing an oval shape for the head. This drawing shows the back of the mermaid, so we'll be drawing her flowing hair in a later step. Step number 2 is a center line for the body and tail. From the bottom of the head, draw a long curved center line that will guide the shape of the body and tail. This line helps keep the drawing symmetrical. Step number 3 is drawing the neck. This is super simple here. We're just going to add 2 small vertical lines on either side of her head at the bottom of the head to form the neck. Step number 4 is drawing the arms and hands. So draw the arms extending from the neck area. Sketch out the hands at the ends of the arms. Now, since hands can be super complicated to draw, I purposefully drew the hands without too much detail to make it super simple. Step number 5 is drawing the torso. So starting at the armpits and using the center line as a guide, draw an hourglass-shaped torso. The center line will help keep the proportions right and make it easier for symmetry. Step number 6 is drawing the tail and fin. So you want to extend the body into a long curved tail that ends in a fin. So a tip here is the tail should gradually taper down to a point before flaring out again into the fin. Add some gentle curves to make it look more natural. The tail here should be curved also to the side, giving it a sense of movement. The way the mermaid is drawn, you can color her in later steps into an under the ocean scene, kind of like she's swimming up to the surface, for example, or have her even perched up on a rock at the ocean surface. Step number 7 is drawing in the hair. Now you want to take an eraser and just erase the top part of the oval you drew in the first step. Then you're going to draw flowing lines to indicate the mermaid's hair, making it look windswept. An idea here is you can add a starfish or even pearls in the hair to make it look more enchanting. Now it's time for our first fun fact. Who do you think is the world's most iconic mermaid? It's Ariel from the Disney's Little Mermaid, of course. She's a kind, genuine-hearted, and adventurous mermaid, and she's my personal favorite Disney princess. Now, step number 8 is adding tail scales. Draw the scales on the tail using a chained U pattern. Now you want to make sure that each row slightly overlaps the previous one, kind of similar to a brick pattern for a more realistic look. Now let's see if you can guess the world's second most iconic mermaid. A little hint here, it has to do with your morning brew. It's the Starbucks siren. The Starbucks logo features a twin-tailed mermaid known as the siren, inspired by maritime mythology and used as a symbol of the company since its founding in 1971. Step number 9 is adding tail details. Add some lines to the fin to show some texture, detail, and movement of the fin in water. Step number 10 is drawing the bathing suit top. Now this is the easiest part of the whole tutorial, which is basically drawing a simple horizontal line across the back area to create the bathing suit top. Now our mermaid is completely drawn in, but now it's time to have fun and a splash of color and color her in. So I personally like to use alcohol markers because they blend well and provide vibrant colors. I got these markers from Amazon originally for my kids, but they were nice enough to let me borrow them for this tutorial. So I will leave a link in the description below if you're interested, but if you do not have these alcohol markers, you can use any simple markers, pencil crayons, or even paints to color her in. Now before we get to coloring her in, now it's time for our final mermaid fact for today. The third most famous mermaid in the world is the OG Little Mermaid, immortalized in bronze by Edvard Eriksson and inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's 1837 fairy tale. This 1.2 meter tall statue on a rock in Copenhagen, Denmark, has been a beloved tourist attraction since 1913 despite frequent vandalism and activism. And interestingly, Hans Christian Andersen is also Danish. Now let's color in our Little Mermaid. So for the tail, I used 3 different shades of blue. I started with the lightest blue in the middle of the tail, and then I gradually blended to a darker blue towards the edge to give it a 3-dimensional look. So essentially, you want to start with the lightest blue in the middle of the tail, and then the darkest blue at the edges of the tail, with the medium blue sandwiched in between them. So now for the fin, I use the same 3 blues to keep it really cohesive. I use the darkest blue and the medium blue for the movement lines in the tail, and then I use the lightest blue to fill in the rest of the tail. Now once the tail and the fin are colored in with blue, I decided to trace over the scales with a white paint marker to really make them stand out and pop even more. Next, I colored in the mermaid skin using a skin colored marker. I added a darker skin color close to brown to shade the shoulders and the mid-back for a more realistic and dimensional look. For the bathing suit, I used a simple magenta pink for a vibrant pop of color, but here you can choose your favorite color, any color you'd like. For the hair, I blended 2 different shades of orange with a touch of brown and white to add highlights and depth to her hair. And our mermaid is complete for this tutorial. You can choose to add any final details like underwater plants, fish like flounder, or background to set the scene. Maybe even your mermaid is exploring a sunken treasure chest or swimming with the dolphins. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun drawing in this mermaid with me and enjoyed the fun facts. Don't forget to like or comment on this video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my channel for more drawing and painting videos. Until next time, sending you lots of peace, love, and color.